Testing, testing, testing. Testing. Just testing right now, getting the test of the sound, making sure I'm sounding loud and clear, coming through, not overpowering on the background music or whatnot. I feel like I'm doing like a music hour or something like that. This beat is smooth like that. Let me get the sound checked out because it's raining over here like crazy. Sound checked out because it's raining over here. Alright, what's going on, y'all? Welcome to the chat. Gonna be doing a little bit of chart and taking a look and see what's happening with some of these stocks out here, see if there's any plays that are presenting themselves. Gonna do a little bit of charting, see what's out there. If you got any in particular charts out there you want to get looked at, you see any potential possibility, please shoot them at me. I would love to go over them, see what opportunities we got here. Thank you for being patient, Renee. I see you in the chat room here. Thank you for joining me today. Let's see what we got. So I'm going to be calling out some plays that I'm actually seeing potential in throughout the day. Typically would normally do this just for the Discord and just for the Way Up Trading group. But whoever's joining me today, get the opportunity. Hopefully these opportunities, if you're interested in making some money on some trades, these will... Alright, SPY, right? Let's take a look. I don't know if you... Are you playing puts right now, or are you on... doing anything else right now? Are you looking to do long, short? What do you want right now? SPY is actually flipping bullish. If you see my chart up here, volume is actually starting to pick up, and it's holding my levels here above that 433.65, which is where I wanted it. It's going to start to push real soon. So if you're in puts, you may want to close out if you're doing short puts for today, because this thing is going to push through, and it's already starting, as you can see. Oh, excellent. All right, you're good. So if you're in calls, then you might be all right. What strike you in? Yeah, you're going to be all right on these calls. Don't worry about that. Right now, on the I'm actually playing on the 5-minute chart. I might actually enter in a little bit once I start to see some supports hit. Wanted to stay kind of cautious because we did open up a little bit on the downside with the whatever was happening with the futures last night. Okay, you bold out here playing the 0 DTEs. Okay, I see you. No problem. That's my kind of thing also. 0 DTEs just get you excited. So, for the most part, I see that we should be all right. I can see the potential of us hitting, actually heading back up toward the 200 moving average here on the 5-minute chart at some point. We are right now playing a bullish shark reversal pattern here. If you're interested in harmonics, this is basically a lot of the way that I actually get my my points and actual strikes, and also watching volume as well as momentum. So if you're following the channel, you probably seen me use these tactics pretty often to do trades throughout the day. Well, let's see here. Potential strikes. These are my levels here. 434. If we can start to mount that 434 mark. We already got a 921 cross on the 5-minute chart, so I don't see us moving back. As long as we can hold above this 433.74 range, should be okay. Once we start mounting these levels, my levels here, 434.09, 434.30. Okay, so you got June 23rd calls. You witnessed this last Friday, and you went long. Okay, long weekends and holidays. Okay, so you actually been holding these calls for about a week, and they're expiring today? Actually, let me see. Okay. You said so June 23rd. That's expiring today. What strike though? How if you picked up last week, you probably were picking up at a bullish time frame, so which we're actually well up above the mark, above the 440 mark on the SPY. So that might be a tough position to be in if you've been holding for a week. You might be down pretty bad. You were in profit, but it's all real. yeah, that happens pretty frequently. At PDT, I've actually been telling a lot of people that you're actually in a better position when you don't have the PDT set up. If you're using like a Robinhood or a Webull or whatever the case may be, typically you can do multiple day trades. Even if you have less than 25,000 in the account, you can actually switch to a cash account, and it does two things. It actually protects you from over trading, and then from there you can actually get your clearing back within 1 day. So after your trades are done, you do get your amount back to use within 1 day. Okay, so 2 calls this week. So if you probably did it last week, you probably were we're probably around the 440 mark, and you're probably looking to go higher. So I'm assuming you're down pretty bad on those. That shit happens. What are you gonna do? We try to protect ourselves with stop losses and take profits on the way. Something to be mindful of. All right, let me see here. At 434. If we get this cross, if you're looking to play something daily, let's see here. Ouch, you blew that account. Yeah, it's happened. I've been through it a couple times, so I know how that goes. It took a while for me to start actually picking up, consistent wins. I've actually been on a hot streak for the last month maybe now, and but before learning how to consistently win on this thing, it took a little while. I did blow a couple accounts myself. 439, 436, and 435 calls. Okay, so you were up, but now you're pretty much back down. Well, what I can say is, in this case, is to hold on to those. I'm not saying hold on to those in particular. We may not see those numbers in particular there. If we do hold the terminal, which I have at 434.30, it is possible that we can maybe get close to 435, depending on how much you bought those calls for. Theta probably is already murdered those things, so you may be able to get off with that 435 call, maybe at some degree, but I don't think you're gonna finish in the money at any one of those other strikes. Probably better to cut those out, in my opinion, just to save some cash and use that on the next play. The thing I learned about the stock market is there's always another play, there's always another opportunity, always another chance to make some money on these things. So don't hold on to faith too long, because the point is to make money. It's about making whatever outcome you're in be income. So that's the concept. And that's the concept we go by in the trading group. Outcome has to be income, no matter what. Even if it's $5 you're making. You might make $5 in the trade. Hey, that's $5 more you can stack toward the next play. So, we take our profits in intervals. What I try to do is take profits in intervals, 10%, 20%, and so up. Yeah, give it a shot. Close out now. I don't think we're going up to those higher ones. 434, 435 is a possibility. But if you're looking at the stream right now, we're taking a look. We're most likely going to hit at most this smooth moving average that I have here, which is this gray line. We may actually touch this before coming back downwards. High possibility of that happening. So it'll be just about here, roughly at that 435.35 mark at some point if we can continue to hold this uptrend. The only issue that I see here is that we are now rising in price. However, we are falling in volume. So volume is not supporting this move up, which would make this a bear flag, meaning that there's a possibility that this can hit a certain point, probably mid 434s, and come down. So I'd wait for whatever pop and just try to salvage whatever you can on this thing, because it's a long way up in order to hit those numbers you got. Let's see, if you're looking for some trades for today, let's see. Are you only interested in trading the SPY, or are you looking at other opportunities out there as well? Questions for Renee. Gotcha. Okay. Well, I mean, even with a small account, there's ways to win. Basically, you got to stack these gains. That's really the main way to do this thing. You only need 3% to 10% per day to stack up a small account. Even $100, can turn into 1,000 real quick in this game. 10x your portfolio very quickly, even if you're starting with $100. But it's really just about being diligent and taking the wins and not looking for the home run every single time. The home runs do come, but the saying I like is step by step is how we get ahead. Not necessarily in fast spurts. You just build your discipline, by preparing for the fast spurts. But one day at a time. As long as you stick in this thing long enough, not blowing up accounts, at the end of the day, you're gonna get what you deserve. And that's an old saying from Charlie Munger, who is Warren Buffett's business partner. So, if anything, he's about 100 years old, and he's a guy who knows what he's talking about. So, those aren't my words; those are his, and it's one of the situations I live by. Being a little more patient with it, giving it time, learning how to play the game, stacking and building. That's one of the things that we like to talk about consistently on Way Up Trading. So, we stack and build, one of our mottos. $15 here, $20 there, $100 there, $5 here. Before you know it, that you'll have $100 turn to 1,000 real quick. Trades are all over the place. Right now, the market's pretty much bleeding. It's not really strong right now. I don't know what took place that spooked the market, but I've been looking for news to see if there's anything out there. Let's see, really not many plays happening besides downside plays. If you want to, you can close out $1. Sure, take a dollar. That dollar, hey, it's one more dollar. Don't give it up to these hedge funds. Don't give it up to these, these other folks. They have enough money. That's your dollar. Keep your dollar, because that dollar, like I said, you can turn that dollar into something down the line. I mean, they got enough money. They don't need any more of your dollars. I mean, in some cases, if they don't let you, if you do have if it's a 1 penny remainder, there is a possibility that they may not let you close it out. I mean, that's just a learning lesson. If it's too far out, it happens. But learning lesson for down the future. But SPY is actually coming back down. It's not holding the level. That volume is actually starting to. Nice job. Keep that. They don't need no more of your money. They got enough. Believe me. They got more than enough. So keep your dollar. That's one more dollar again to use toward the next trade. Hey, I look at that as a win. Forget that. Nice job. Very nice job. Right, let's see what we got. So right now, let's see other plays that are looking like a possibility. Let me just tell the team where I'm at. No, definitely. It's really about taking the power back. You don't want to. That's one thing about this game is that you don't want to feel powerless in this. I know there's a lot of powerful people that are involved in the stock market, and they're doing a lot of different things that can make us feel kind of insufficient or unable. So keeping your money in your pocket is a way to get your power back. Making money off of them is even better. So, but every dollar you have is just one more soldier in the army that you can use to your advantage in order to work for you. So you got to keep that mindset that it's not just a dollar, it's a soldier. If that soldier can go out and bring you back 10 more soldiers, your army grows. Your financial fitness grows. Things improve. But you got to use it wisely. But here we go. We got a downside 921 cross. The rejection took place at that 434.09 mark. So this thing is going to come back down. So you actually did make a good choice actually removing your capital there right at that point, because that would have been the high portion of the day so far. The SPY does look like it wants to make a double bottom. It's a potential. But just taking a look at the other indicators, sellers are pretty much taking over right now. The momentum is to the downside. Volume is still pretty bad. Let me see if I can do my. Let's see what's out here. So potential opportunities. Mara looks like it could run again. I'm gonna go ahead and pull up Mara on the chart here, because Mara was a nice play we had the other day related to the crypto market. And when usually what happens is that once the crypto market starts, or the banks start doing bad, or the market starts to tumble, there's a correlation that you find there where the crypto sector will start to run. So keep a look at that. Mara is actually starting to pick up steam again. A $12 strike was already placed in. Let me see if I got a target that I have here. I'm going to look at the 4-hour chart. Yeah. Gotcha. 9:20 last Friday. I used all the day trades and got stuck. All right, well, let's get that back, huh? Well, I'm gonna start to, I don't know if your day trades are out for today, I would definitely, take a little time. I wouldn't enter in over the weekend unless you're looking to scalp something. If you don't have any day trades, don't do any swings right now because the market is pretty erratic. I don't think it's going to pick a true direction just yet, especially not going into the end of the month. And it does look like it does want to come back down. So do be careful with trying to make a quick play. If you're looking to hold over the weekend, I don't think it's a smart choice at the moment. But there are quick scalp opportunities to make some money out here. Let's see here. Let's see. Mara is definitely one opportunity to get in and out if you have a day trade available. Let's see. Volume picking up on Mara right now above the signal line. Very nice, very nice. So you got 3 day trades. Okay. Well, it's looking good right now on Mara. I'm going to look for some shorter time frames to see if there's any quick opportunities here. Yeah, nothing nice. All right, we got hold over 1202. There's a possibility to jump in on this thing. Mara, positive volume is in. We got momentum to the upside. We are starting to get a little hot. We might have missed this particular move. But let's see. We're going to see if there's any other opportunities out here. And this is the boring work that everybody, not everybody really glorifies. They don't put this stuff on TV. They don't show the grunt work that goes into it, sitting in front of a screen for a couple hours a day and losing your eyesight. That's the part they leave out. But there's a lot of setup opportunities and things like that you got to look at in advance. But in situations like this, we can catch opportunities just for momentum pre-setup. So we want to keep our eyes and try to see if we can get things going while they're in motion or when they're about to go in motion to take advantage of them. And those are what scalps are about, based off of momentum. We can catch crosses. If you've watched some of the past videos I put up, momentum strategies outside of the other strategies that I use, such as Wyckoff methodology, or we have one second here, harmonic strategies and stuff like that. But also momentum is a big one. So Fibonacci's also. But again, Fibonacci's is also another strategy that we use, but for the most part, it's all the same thing. We're just trying to catch a move, try to pre-choreograph a move if we possibly can, but momentum really is what reigns king, outside of just price action and liquidity levels. So we just want to pay attention to those as we catch them. And let's see here. I'm going to wait for Mara to come back down, and we'll see if it does come back down at some point here. Take a look at some of the indicators. Minute 417. Yeah, this thing may go to $13 very soon. See if we can get a nicer entry here. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna wait for this one. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up some calls for next week. $13 strike. Just to start a position. And do one or two contracts to get started, and then see how things move, and potentially jump back in to average out. It's another one of the things I like to try to practice to make sure that we don't overdo it immediately. You want to try to see if you can set lower amounts under the bid price when actually selecting options. See if those get filled. Let the play come to you versus trying to chase it. But $13 calls for Mara look pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and try this out for next week. A 6:30 expiration date. $13 strike. Let's see if I get filled on it. Right now, those are going for 60. They're asking 66 cents. Put in an order for 65 cents to see if it gets filled. I do believe it's a little hot right now. It should come back down slightly. Maybe I might get filled for that smaller price. And I just got filled. So my average right now on those two contracts I just picked up, just to start, $65 per contract right now. So about $130 in. I'm going to see if it scalped this thing on the momentum move that we got going on here. And leave the SPY alone. I mean, that's operating inverse to the crypto market. Nice job. Nice one contract. Let's see how it goes. If this thing comes back down, I'll be okay with DCAing a little bit. Give us a little time. We have a week out, which is good. But for the most part, if we can easily get a nice push here in just a few moments. So let's take a look at the 15-minute chart. All right, it's actually already starting to move. We already passed a nice movement, already up 6% on the on those contracts. Price right now is at 68 cents. It's still pushing. Yeah, we should be all right. Nice job, Renee. Congratulations already. Now the thing is, yelling out one contract, I wouldn't go too crazy with it, trying to let this thing be a home run into crazy numbers. It's a possibility, but what I typically like to do is I'd like to, again, work my way out of the contracts. I don't like to hold them too long. I don't want to pick them up where I'm waiting for it to hit 100%, because that's how you lose. And the concept is to trim on the way up. Right? We take profits as they start to continue to build. If you have multiple contracts, usually I like to get between 4 to 10 contracts at minimum. When we're just doing one or two, take the base hits. You build your confidence, take the base hits, get the 10%ers, the 20%ers, and you go. You don't wait to hold it to certain levels. Just take the money and run, in a sense. And that's how you build your confidence. You show your entries good. You make sure that you're actually putting money in your pocket, and that's it. You didn't get the fill. Oh boy. That's it. That's all right. I mean, I believe at this point it's going to start to hit around that 270 mark, 1270 mark in just a little bit, and possibly retrace. I don't think it's going to blow right through that level. If it does, that would be a good indication. I'll wait for it to come back to the 9 EMA, because it will at some point come to the 9 EMA. It's not going to just run right through these levels like that. That's not how the stock market works. So, oh, nice. Oh, you got filled. Very good. Very good. All right, still coasting here, up 6% on those contracts. And it's still running. All right, we're up 8% right now. Here's my mark right here. If you're watching, mark I got here is at 1271. That's my target too. I don't believe it's going to run right through that, so I believe we'll touch it and we'll get a nice retrace. So I'm going to mark that purple. All right, volume is still picking up nicely above the signal line on the 3-minute chart. Still pushing 1250 right now, 5.65% on the day, and running. Nothing really to worry about just yet. I still see upside potential on this thing, so we're looking good. I'm going to check out the 1-minute chart. SPY's pretty much just consolidating, sitting around that 430, mid 433 mark, so nothing really happening on SPY right now. Okay, if Mara does come back down a little bit, I'm going to most likely add to my position. All right, also, so I just set a buy order myself here for another two or three more contracts at this 66-cent mark. If it does get filled, I do expect it to come back. But right now, we are kind of in a squeeze situation on the lower time frames. It is pushing past certain levels and actually starting to push past the Bollinger Bands on this thing. So it's hot. It will come back. Most likely, will come back to somewhere around the 1230 mark. Because obviously, when it's past a certain point, it's looking like it may want to be shorted. But that's why we also pick up longer dated, so we don't go too short. We don't go 0 DTEs unless we are 100% sure of the move. And right now, we're in a situation where it may come back down a little bit. So averaging into it, like I mentioned before, is the way to go. As long as it holds a 9 EMA, which I have here on the screen, which is that blue line, we're good. But once it does break that 9 EMA, we need to consider watching that. I'm waiting for it to come back down to about the 425. We'll see how it reacts in a little bit. $12.25. And I like it. I would like it to hold there. I'll even take it down as low as 1217. To add to my position somewhere around that point. So I'll even take it down that low if I need to. In the meantime, I'm going to double check on BBIG. BBIG is one I've been checking on myself and my guy in the group, Way Up Trading Group. It's actually we do a lot of our trades, pass good information around, help each other out. BBIG. Let's see how BBIG is doing. It just hit 140. I just got the alert. Oh boy, I typed that in wrong. Sitting at 141. Let's see here on the 4-hour chart. Like 140. All right, here we go. If it holds 140, you'll probably be looking to enter in. All right, I'm gonna add a little bit more to my position on Mara. So I typically like to split my trades into 4. When I buy 4 contract, if I have $1,000, let's say, I'll split it into 250 intervals in order to get the position I'm looking for. But right now, it looks actually I'm not even getting my fill on Mara. It's starting to bounce already, right off that 90 EMA, just as we talked about. Awesome. So I'm with it. Great opportunity to average down, catch the rest of the play, and ready to make that next move. This is basically a reaccumulation style on the chart here, just basically building up strength for the next push. I do believe at some point today, in this very short period of time, I'd say it's going to go and hit that 1271 mark in just a little bit. I don't think this move is over yet. Too much strength right now in the crypto market. So let's see if I got filled on that, a DCA. Didn't get filled. I was looking for a 63 cent fill. Didn't get it. We'll see. So I did get two. I did get 2 more here. I'm at 6 contracts now. Just a few. And then from there, if we hold that 1271, I'm going to hold a little bit there, and I'll actually hold that 1271. I'll probably purchase into strength and look to go and get toward that $13 mark. I don't think it'll go past that today, but it's a good sign that the volume was a little bit lower on the drop. We had that downside a little bit today. As it hit that downside after we hit our high, roughly about that 1250 mark, came back down on lower volume. Higher volume is starting to come through above the signal line and kind of dwarfing this sell volume that we had a little while ago. So we're looking good. This thing is looking positive. It should continue to still push. Don't see any indication of why this thing would come down. My indicators are still showing that this is positively charged. So we should be on our way in a little bit. Gonna take a look and see what other lines of support and resistance are out here. 1243 is a big one. We get above 1243. That's a big one on the daily chart. I have the smooth moving average, which is one I use a lot. One of my biggest indicators. Smooth moving average is sitting up here at $13.24. So I'm going to mark that off here. That most likely would be a big target to touch. I'm going to mark that off in pink. And just in preparation for us to go and hit that area. I don't see why we won't. As long as we can get above that 1271, it should be a big resistance location. I see that being the spot where we need to be concerned. That's about it. Other than that, smooth sailing to 13 bucks. Now the trading range set up here. Yellow lines. 1073 is the bottom end of the trading range. 1366 the top end of the trading range. If we start to get up to these levels, I mean, Mara could actually make a crazy move. So actually, this will be my second time trading Mara this week. You can see it's in bullish territory and has been. I actually was able to catch this big move down from about $8-9 all the way up to about $12 earlier this week. So I know how the stock moves. That was about 100 and some odd % move. So I was really happy about that one. So yeah, we're looking good. So on the 23-hour, 1243 is a big level to cross. Alright, so holding to find support above 1273, 1243. Which is exactly what I wanted to see. We're above it. Go back and mark that off. I'm trading trade journal. Uh, 13 calls. All right, that's the push. It's still going. Now, Renee, were you able to grab any more contracts? Did you average down in that area? Right now, up 12.68%. Actually, 13% now. Looking to trim my first contract. So I'm going to take some off the table here. Again, like to trim at intervals 10%, 12%, 12%, 20%, 30%, 50%, 75, then 100. By the time I get to 50%, I'm generally out of half of my position. So half the money I put in is basically back in my pocket, and I let the rest ride out and trim along the way. And that's the way I preach it, and it has changed everything. Being more of a defensive trader than an offensive trader is the best way to go. That's how you make money. That's how you stay consistently profitable, and that's how you have longevity in this game, which is really all you need. And there's the push right now. We're at 1261, $6, 6.59% on the day. Up now, 19% on these contracts. Okay, you're still looking good. Still looking good. You got one contract in. I'll tell you, if you at 0.69, the actual contract prices right now are at average contract prices at 76 cents. So you should actually still be up pretty nicely. If you got the one contract, that's perfectly fine. It's easily about a 10% swing and profit. So you may want it once we get to this 1271 mark or just about it. I wouldn't wait till we hit this mark. I would, if you're around 10%, be again more of a defensive. I would advocate to be more of a defensive type of trader. Take the 10% win, take the 15% win, and run. I know we're gonna hit this level. Like I mentioned before, you'll see it touch immediately and then most likely come back down. But I want you to be safe here and actually make money. That's the whole point of way up trading. We want to make money. The outcome has to be income, and that's how we do this thing. So don't wait too long. $8 is $8. $8 is $8. Because guess what? Tomorrow you can come. Well, Monday you can come back and use that $8 towards maybe one additional contract, right? Something else towards another stock or whatever the case may be. It can add to some of your long positions if you have any long positions in your portfolio. So that's $8. Let's go. That's a win. Let's take it. Just be careful because anything can happen in the stock market. I call them FU candles because they do exist. All of a sudden, you get this huge red downside candle out of nowhere, and they will take every dollar you just made, and you go from being up $8 to negative, 50. So that's the last thing you want to do. They do exist. All this could be gone in one shot, so we don't need that. Making sure I updated the group on the trades I'm taking today. All right, I trimmed twice. I trimmed at 18%, at 12%, and also trimmed again at a 21% profit, down to about 3 contracts now. Out of the 6, 4 contracts now. Out of the 6 that I purchased earlier. So that's money in the pocket. Not bad for just a few minutes worth of work. I mean, probably my first job, I remember getting paid $8 an hour. Make $8 in 5 minutes now, whenever I want. And that's the concept with how the stock market works. If you follow a set of rules, you could do this at a moment's notice. Whenever you need money, you just turn to the market, grab it real quick, and go. I wouldn't suggest doing market here. Reason being is you may get filled too high. I would set at the, as we are going to be on a downtrend in a little bit here. If you're paying attention to the MACD and RSI, it's probably going to be pretty hot. I'm going to go and pull that up real quick, which would probably signal that it's going to take a little breather. You can see the histogram here. It's going to pull that up. If you're watching the screen, the histogram, you can see it's getting shorter and shorter. The iterations are actually shrinking. So it's meaning it's on a downtrend here. You can see also the lines are ready to cross back downward. Once these two cross, that'll confirm a downward move and just a breather on this thing before it potentially turns back up. I don't see it being a huge breather or a long breather because on the opposite side, the divergence is it's actually, again, on the other side, making a higher low on the red side of the indicator. So it would be a quick drop, ease off, and then potentially look for the next push. You can also potentially get a breakout of it, a higher high on the histogram. So just like charting the candles, we need to chart and pay attention to these areas as well, these indicators, because they can change everything. That just tells me that sellers are losing strength. Buyers maybe even gaining strength if we get a breakout of this indicator. And that's the MACD, simple one that we use. Take a look at the RSI. The RSI has now dropped down, so you can see obviously the price has come downward back to the 1243 area. So the market order, like I mentioned before, wouldn't be the best choice to go with. I'd definitely try to look and pick up a smaller amount at the bid price, see if it gets filled, and then that'll immediately put you in profit once this thing starts to turn around. But I'd wait for the MACD on the 3-minute at least to turn around, and then look to catch it from there. So what you want to do is be immediately in profit once you get that reversal. Now, if you don't get that fill, don't chase it. Let it come to you. And again, I got that bounce again right off the 9 EMA on the 5-minute chart. And the 9 EMA is going to be pretty strong. You can see the wicks here, but it is still in bearish momentum. Exactly. You want to buy more when it gets low. The 9 EMA is basically where it bounced. You can see it pushed up. If you buy more, you'd be in a situation right now where you'd now be averaging in. So you may be at a lower price, or maybe even to where you started, but we still believe in the move. Again, I still have about 20 cents of upside to about this mark here. I believe in the move. I think it's going to go. However, I did take 2 trims off the table. My risk is now a lot less, and I can hold on for a lot longer, which is the reason why we trim as the price is moving upwards. Room to 2. Short term. All right, here's the next push here on Mara. I'm going to focus on this for right now. Let's see what else is going to come up, but I believe that Mara is going to go and push here. It's a light consolidation above this area. Still holding the 9 EMA on the 3-minute chart as well as the 5-minute chart. Don't see much really to be concerned about. The 1 minute is still pushing up. Trend is upwards. This thing is going to go. If it gets to 1271, it's going to hold. If it does hold, bounces, gets a retest of this 1271 level, I don't see how it will go. But if it is rejected, we'll go back down to probably trickle back down, probably go and test this support here, roughly around $12.26. So we'll see. That's the 2-minute chart. Getting these wicks here at the top end on the 2-minute chart. Possible that they do want to kind of bring it down a little bit, cut it down to size, but it'll relate to a smaller push on the 5-minute. But again, right now it is in over extended territory. I'm going to pull up the Bollinger Bands real quick just to double check it. Actually, no, there's still some room to go. I don't see this. 1269 is the top of the Bollinger Band. This can still push. I think we might have got a good one today. We caught it a little late, but we still caught it. 20% is 20% so far. So if you didn't get filled for the additional, it's okay. Market's a little crazy today, so let's take it. All right, here we go. Next push, higher high is coming in for the next minute. Higher today so far is at 1265. We're most likely gonna hit the higher in just a few seconds here, and that should take us to the target that I have here about 1271, and we're able to see that all the way back down here. Go figure. Just the way the stock market works. I'm gonna take a look and see if there's any kind of sell orders. Most likely, yep. Look where they all line up. Sell orders are right in this area here, so we're all about that 1270 mark. I don't expect us to just hit right through this. They are looking to sell this thing off and push it back down. A lot of people taking profits, so do be careful here, moving it further up and trying to be risky and hoping for the best, because it's most likely not going to run in the sell in that one shot. You have a double sell order block here, which will most likely drop this unless they move this area or move these sell orders. This thing is going to most likely come back down to retest, reaccumulate, and do a move more like this back around the 1225 mark and start to gain strength in order to push through. So take your profits in this area. Don't get too excited about it yet, and just be on the safe side. That's what I'm talking about. Take them profits, baby. Very nice, very nice. And that's how we make money on the way up. We take those profits, we take our gains. Right now, we should probably be up easily, 15, 20%. And that extra dollar you got back from these market makers, use that towards putting back, getting your power back and putting money back in your pocket, in your family's pocket. And that's what it's all about. So depending on how much strength this thing has, it can start to eat through these orders, or the sellers may just give up and let it go. However, we don't want to take risk like that. Being a defensive trader is more important than being a offensive trader or just looking for home runs every single time. The indicators are telling us that this wants to come back down. You can take a look here at the volume. It's starting to step down and decreasing while the price is pushing up, which is indicating a divergence, meaning that it will most likely start to drop. Volume is below the signal line, so we can't get greedy. We take the money, take what the market's giving us. It's about to hit that 1271 mark we talked about a little while ago. We're just about there. And make it the tap and then start the reverse. Right now, 1269, 1270, 1270. Come on, go ahead. You want to hit it right there. Go ahead and touch the 1271 mark. And just one shot, just one push. Hey, you're welcome. Definitely glad we can get you some of that money back from last week. But that's how it is. We work together. We look out for each other. We learn from each other. We grow. We get better. Stack and build. Stack and build. Outcome has to be income. Make the outcome income. And there's the 1271 mark that was just hit. So that's now in the pocket. 24% gain on that move. I'm going to go ahead and take some more profits here off the table. I'm now up 24% on the move, and here comes the retracement. I'm going to go to a lower time frame to see how that's looking, how it's working out. On a 3-minute, it's now at the top of the Bollinger Bands. You should start to get this push down. There was high volume, but now volume is starting to taper off. That should be the top, and here we go with the drop back downwards. There we go. This is why we trim. Now, in this particular case, I would wait. I would probably actually, I'm taking all the profits off the table at this point because I know it's going to come back down. We can clearly see that we have this sell order block. It's not going to get hit. It's a double order block, meaning that this thing is going to come back down. Most likely may hit the 90 EMA, but that's a lot of sell orders. It may break the 90 EMA and start to reaccumulate somewhere down around that 1225 mark, and then start to reaccumulate. However, we can't completely predict the future, but what we can do is use the indicators that we have at our disposal, and make the best informed decisions. And based on what I'm seeing here, they would like to push this thing back down, at least get it somewhere maybe the 1240 or as low as that 1225 mark. So congratulations, Renee. If you're interested, consider hopping in with us on the Way Up Trading group. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put the link at the top here. We got some opportunities. I usually post these opportunities there online, right in the group, so everyone gets an opportunity to take those, put some gains in their pocket, make the way up. And that's how we do it. I went ahead and left the group link here at the top of as the pinned portion of the chat, and it's actually still showing a little bit of strength. It's actually eating right through a lot of these orders on Mara. But it's all good. Let's see what other opportunities out here to make a little money. Let's see if we can do a little SPY. What time is it right now? 11:45 Eastern Standard Time. I'm over here in rainy New Jersey. But let's see. Going to check out the SPY 434 calls. I'm going to pull the SPY back up real quick to see if we can do a 0 DT. But for the safe side, we may even do a single day expiration. We pull the SPY, see what it's looking like. Whoa, SPY is actually on a mission right now. Full reversal off that double bottom. We kind of expected this to happen, but I didn't think it would look like this. Goodness gracious. All right, so this is what we got. SPY is actually heading back toward the hop section. I don't know if it's going to double top, but I have my harmonic optimal target, 434.13. It actually hit it earlier today, but it is now 9:21 cross on the 3-minute. Let's double check the 5-minute, see if there's any type of confirmation on it. Let's move this down a little bit to 434.09. We'll take a look. Yeah, 434 is going to work out nicely, but I need to see a retrace. You can see if you're looking at volume on the SPY right now, this volume is actually starting to step up. Going to get above the signal line just a little bit. My indicators are showing bullish momentum. Let's double check. Whoa. All right, big changes on the SPY. Look at that. Wyckoff trend oscillator flipped up. We have a cross on the MACD, a cross up on the RSI. Let's see here. No short thing indicator. It's about to cross up. Okay, we're looking good. The ADX is crossed up. Volume is stepping up. I'm actually going to go ahead and do this now. Let's go ahead and take a SPY call. I'm going to do for 1-day expiration because I don't trust this move fully yet. So I'm going to do it for 1-day expiration. Looks like we might miss the 434. I'll do a 435. 1-day expiration. So I'm gonna do Monday's close date, 4:35. Monday's close date. Don't expect to hold these over the weekend. I'm not looking to do that at all. This is just a scalp to make some money for the day, and take it from there. Right now, those calls are priced at about 78 cents. Well, 79 cents. Gonna do a starter position here. Let's get about 5 contracts just to start. Okay, I got filled here at 75 cents a contract. So I'm slightly down from the rip. Perfectly fine. I am okay with DCAing as long as it can hold above my golden line here at about 74. Hey. All right. Let's see. I'm back on here. Gonna post this up in the group so they can, so the rest of the team can actually go ahead and jump into these. All right, so I'm in. Actually, let's see. $9.21 crossed. You said 404. Not sure what you mean by that, Renee. You said you got a 404. What is the 404? All right, now it looks like it's coming down a little bit to go and retest. I would like it to hold above the 433.74 line. Let's take a look at some of the other indicators. Look at the trend oscillator. Yeah, it's gonna need a little time to play out. This is not gonna happen in one day. Looks like it got rejected. The no short thing didn't fully cross up, but I just needed to be back above 433.74 and hold. If we can hold 433.74, I wouldn't have much fear that this thing is gonna continue to go up. I wanted to go in here and touch this 200 moving average on the 5-minute time frame, which would be the uptrend that I have marked here. This is this green line, this uptrend. This uptrend is actually from, let's see, where do I have this uptrend from? Let's go to my 4-hour chart. Okay, this is the uptrend from this broadening, rising broadening wedge that we've been in ever since breaking our broadening top pattern from a few weeks back. So now we are now in a rising wedge, but we're overall, again, I talked about this in one of my last videos, potentially playing out this head and shoulders. Now, I don't want it to. I'm still bullish on the market, and I think there's going to take some really major news to drop this thing down. However, the pattern right now is still in bearish territory until it gets above 437. But there are opportunities for this thing to come back up, but we'll see. But the general overall move right now is to the downside. But I'm still pretty confident that the upward move is still going to happen. I mean, the pattern is there. If you can help me out, Renee, what I just wanted to make sure. What is that? He got a 404. This, if you're watching, just want to confirm what the 404 is. I want to make sure that answer whatever question or whatever you're stating here. But the double bottom is pretty perfect right here. Perfect double bottom off of that area. W-like setup. Crossing over our support line of 433.74. Next target to push just needed to get over 434.09 and hold that area in the 434 range. We already tested it once. I'm taking a look and see what kind of sell orders are in place already to see if we need to be concerned with anything. Huge gap down. So there's a lot of gap to fill here. We fell from 436 all the way here. Bullish needs to happen. We need to fill this upside gap that we've created over the last night's drop. It was roughly about a 7.71% drop down. Needs to be filled. You can't have that. Yeah, Mara is going. Mara is going, yo. Mara is not wasting any time. Mara is out of here. So we picked up those Mara calls, and Mara is eating through this order block. If it gets past that level at the top of the order block, this thing is going to continue. 1290 is the next level to break. If we break 1290, goodbye. This thing is going up to 1325. Very, very fast, which is going to be the smooth moving average on the daily time frame, on the 4-hour time frame. And yeah, we'll be looking at some things. We're looking at some things. Trading range, top of the trading range that I have is roughly at about 1366. And if that's going to get real spicy in a little bit, this engulfing candle in the 4-hour pretty much knocks out all bearish situations that we had over the last couple of days after hitting our high. But this is the top of the sell order block here that we have here. And once this is out of the area, we're not going to really have much to worry about. So right now we're we're actually above the target, and looks like it's about to break through a Mara. So we're looking real good. Got into those calls today, about $13 calls, which were set up for next week. And there's the break, 1285. It's still going. Good play. Good play. And we got into SPY calls today. SPY calls right now are actually green. We entered into 435 calls for the next business day, which is on June 26th. Right now, up about 2%. Looking fantastic. I do believe we're going to start to fill this upside gap in just a little bit. I don't think we're going to fill the entire gap today. However, we are going to get a portion of it. I definitely feel like we can hit the 200 moving average on the 5-minute chart, and that'll do something for us as far as these calls are concerned anyway. Outcome, income, basically it. How's Mara looking right now? Mara's still trying to eat through this last order setup here. Gonna trade for the next little bit. Probably step out in just a little while. All right, it's 1283. All right, go SPY. SPY's moving right now. We got the move up, breaking my level. We're gonna go and hit that 434.09 target, which is what I had set up in advance. Things are moving up right now. We should make our way. Watching for the volume. It's not going to move really hard just yet because of the fact that we are in the lunch hour on the Wall Street time frame. So don't expect things to actually move just yet or hit the heights that they should. But the double bottom setup that we had here was beautiful. Things are moving up. 434.09 is our next target. Volume is a little low again because of lunch hour, but I do expect things to pick up into the 1 o'clock Eastern time frame, as well as into the end of the day. Again, that's a huge gap we left behind yesterday, and it needs to get filled. So it's going to happen. It's just going to take a little time. I don't see more downside at the moment. It is possible, but I don't think it'd happen all in one shot. We are back now in the golden range that I talked about in my last video. Golden range is anywhere between 433.65 and 436.19. If we can stay within this area, we should be okay in terms of resuming the bull market that I believe we're in right now. Chip sector, as well as what's happening with the blue chips, are leading the way. Blue chips today are actually looking okay. They're recovering really well. A lot of a shakeout. Still not exactly sure on what took place here in order to drop the market or spook the market this morning in pre-market as well as overnight with the indexes and ES. But we are looking good. We're looking real good. I expect the higher high to happen here in just a little bit. Let's see how the call's looking right now. Right now, sitting on these 434 calls, 435 calls for next business day, up 10%. Going to take some profit here. So I'm going to go ahead and trim some profit on those 435 calls for Tuesday. And it's a 10% profit, taking a trim. First trim right there. Take a profit. That's what I'm talking about. Welcome to the trading group. Glad to have you up in here. Very nice, very nice. Glad you were able to join us on the Way Up trading group. Let's go ahead and do this thing. How's Mara looking right now? Mara is going to take a little breather, but they have moved those sell orders up. No, they're still there, still pretty much filling orders at the top of the trading range, also right in the top of the Bollinger Bands we set up earlier on. So it's looking like it's looking like it may come back down just a little bit, find support. Again, the 9 EMA is what we're paying attention to. So watching the 9 EMA, let's go ahead and get rid of these sell orders. We'll go and check those back in a little bit. But the 9 EMA is what we're paying close attention to, which is bouncing off of as we speak. We'll take a look at some of the other indicators. It is moving downward. The histogram is now starting to turn over. The RSI is starting to turn over just a little bit. So things are coming back down slightly. However, still in bullish territory on this stock. It's a low volume push down. As the price is coming back down, the volume is actually a lot lower than the purchasing volume or the buying volume. And there's a big hammer candle push back up. This wick is actually trying to get this back above the level of 1280. If it does get this, we most likely will see a higher high. We do have a little bit of a flag forming on the lower time frames here, or a bullish pennant on the lower time frames. And this thing is continuing to push. I do see it hitting that $13 mark in just a little while, so stay tuned on this thing. So if you're able to get into those calls and hold on to it, should be all right. And here comes the break. All right. So SPY went ahead and tested that 434.09 and got rejected. Just a little bit for a next reaccumulation. I do believe it's still going to hit. However, we just need to hold this level here of 433.74. As long as that's held, I don't really have much of a worry of when this thing is where this thing is going to go. It just needs to take its time. This is why we didn't want to play zeros exactly, because the market is still kind of reacting to whatever took place last night. I still haven't been able to find much news. If anyone knows of any news that took place last night, let me know. Hey, what's going on, Dan? My man Daniel in the car. Got a little man going to sleep. Welcome to the chat, my friend. But hey, went ahead and posted if you want to go and take a look at it in the group. Just jumped into some 435 calls on the SPY for the for this next coming day. So it's a good opportunity to get in. It's still early in the day, so we were expecting some kind of volume to start to pour in after the lunch hours on Wall Street. So good opportunity to come to grab some calls at the lower price here. But I do believe this is going to move upwards. And we should be able to get a nice play out of this thing. If you're taking a look at the chart, we got that double bottom setup that just took place earlier on off of that low end. And we're looking like we're going to start turning around now. So it's a good opportunity to get in. I'm going to update the group real quick with my entry on this. No, not zero DTEs, man. I don't want to do zero DTEs, not just yet, because it's still a little iffy. I'm not sure what's exactly spooking the market or keeping it like this, but I did one DTE, so the 26th. All right, so the 26th, you may want to consider getting a starter position and look into it. So it gives us a little bit more time for this to play out. But we do have a nice upside gap to fill today or over the next day or two. So I don't think this thing is bearish yet, but I think there's an opportunity to make some money to the upside here. The double bottom is still playing out, so this would be a nice time to grab a few contracts. And Mara's out of here. We were able to get into Mara real quick. I have just some runners left over. Didn't catch the whole move, but Mara's already running. I don't know if you were able to catch that earlier on. I know you just got on with Little Man. But the Mara, oh goodness gracious, this thing is pushing 9% right now. Here we go. It's at $13 already. Here we go. That's the target. Mara, we caught somewhere around the $12.12 mark, $12.25 mark. I went and posted it at an average of about 66 cents. And those contracts are going nuts right now. Man, this is one of those days where we weren't able to really call the market in advance because things look crazy. But this is one of the days that we got to pay attention and watch, making sure what's going on around us. And then let the plays come to us, and let's take advantage of them while they're already in motion. It's a little apprehensive today, but it's starting to take shape. Nice, very nice. 78 cents will do. I think we should get a nice play out of this thing. The volume should start picking up. You know how it is with the lunch times. But if you're already in, we should start seeing some things turn around a little while. You know, give it the lunchtime hour. Let things kind of play out a little bit. I mean, the double bottom is really all we wanted. We got it. Now I just need to let it play out. I want that higher high by end of day, roughly above this 430. And then we need to play up towards this 200 moving average. This is our target right now, the 200 moving average on the 5-minute chart. I don't want to hold past it. I want to take our profits as we go up. If we get past 430, I'm probably going to take some more profit there and take profits just about here, because you know what's coming. It's going to get rejected and needs to reaccumulate. So we want to pay attention to that before we go all the way in, or expect it to keep running. So we take our profits as we go up, pocket the cash, stack and build, baby, stack and build. There we go. Here comes a break of 434 once again. Should be up already on those contracts, my friend. $434.02. All right, let me make sure I update the group. Starting to get excited about this move right here. This thing is, you know what I'm saying, getting me a little excited here. Gotta watch out. It's beautiful. All right, we got the, how our cross is looking right now. This 921 played out well. Did I get the 13 cross yet? Where's my 13? 13 has not fully played out. We're waiting for the 1348 cross to, they're actually getting really close together here. If we get this in a little bit, this push, I'm expecting a nice influx of volume to push us up towards 430, 430. But we're getting very close on that touch here. So be careful. What I'm expecting, we're closing in really nicely here on that 1348 cross for confirmation. Let's take a look at our other indicators. ADX is still looking good. Green is above the signal line, above all the seller pressure, so we are in bullish territory. It is starting to make a little bit of a lower low, but that's understood because we're now in lunchtime. So this is going to be a low volume portion of the day. We'll start picking back up till roughly about 1 o'clock. But that's the reason I wanted to go ahead and pick up 1 DTEs at least, in order to give it a little time for this move to play out, because we're in a very low volume portion of the day. It needs a little time to, you know, gain some strength. All right, 0.81. Be careful with that. I mean, as long as we hold 434 and change, I got my level here, 433.74. That's a good location to DCA if necessary. But so far so good. I don't see this slowing down just yet. It's gonna have its waves up and down, but the goal is to get back above that 434.09. Once we get in that spot, we'll be okay. But again, we're a low volume portion of the day. This is going to probably trickle up a little bit before starting to gain some steam. 111 is this touch here of the 200 moving average, or very close to it. I'm looking for at least 434.30. That should be a nice move, a nice profit on the way. Oh no. Out of day trades, huh? Oh boy. Alright. Yeah. That day trade setup, man. Yeah, those day trades can be tough. I don't know. Hopefully it doesn't. I don't know what to expect over the weekend. That's the only issue. The weekend is a long time. You know, anything can happen. I don't want anything crazy. Okay, all right, good. That's good news. Outcome income, baby. That's all that matters. As long as we're leaving with outcome, leaving the outcome with money in our pockets, let's go. Because next week we come back stronger, better prepared, ready to take on the next opportunity. And that's what it's all about. But it is going though. It is running. And it's trying to get my bearings here about being able to update everything at the same time and watch the charts and making sure I'm staying up to date with what I'm seeing here. But I'll get my bearings about me. I got no worries on that. Hell yeah, Mara was the play, boy. Mara was nice. Oh, here we go. We're breaking through. Breaking through. We got the 1348 cross. There it is. It's exactly what we wanted to see. And here comes the influx of volume. That's the confirmation candles. And we should go ahead and start making our way towards 434 and 30 cents in just a little bit. I want this to hold above 434.09 for a little while, at least get a closing candle. We still got a lot of time left on this candle right here on the 5-minute time frame. Roughly about four minutes flat. But if we can get a nice closing candle above it, I don't like this longer wick. But if we can hold up here, it should be good. And right now, it looks like on the 2-minute, it's finding support. Here's the push. Oh man, I wish you can. I wish. Oh, 21% right now on those contracts. I'm going to take some profit here at this level. All right, let's see. There's the push to 430. 430, 430. I don't think it's going to blow right through it, but we should be good. First trim was 11%. First trim, 11%. Second trim. Oops. I was in the wrong spot. Oh, it blew. Wow, it blew right through it. Second trim. Oh, there's another trim. All right, we're already up 30%. Let's go. And it hit right there at the smooth moving average on the 2-minute chart. Let's take a look at the 5. I'm still trying to get towards this 5-minute 200 moving average. It's going to be on the way. Right now it's sitting right underneath the 434 mark we talked about a little while ago. Second trim, 30%, 20%, 21%. Third trim. Are we looking? Did I get no third trim yet? Waiting for that third trim to come in. Here we go. We need that break. I want that break and hold. That break and hold right over that 434.30. And it'll be ball game. We'll be ready to go. Break and hold about 434.30. Got 2 minutes left on this 5-minute candle. All I need is that hold. That's a huge candle. That's right at the 1348 cross. You can see how volume skyrocketed up. We got the harmonic buying volume coming in right now. This is stair stepping above the signal line. It's above here. We got 1 more minute left. 1 minute and 40 seconds left on this candle. I just want you to close right above it. And that's all I need to see. All right, 434.40. Come on. 44. Let's go. Let's go. 1 minute left on this candle. Just hold above it. That's going to be a nice day today, man. It's going to be a nice day. Well, it started off slow, but we're getting there. So far, 2 good plays already. This is going to be a good play. Play number 2. Mara this morning. Had a visitor come into the group today. by the name of Renee. Was able to make some money on that on a play this morning with Mara. Was down a little bit earlier this week for some other plays, and just made some money back. Outcome was income. So Renee, congratulations on that. I think you just joined the group too, so I'm excited about that as well. So let's keep this momentum going on this thing. All right, we got the closing candle. I was looking, well, we got 17 seconds left. I just needed to close above 434.30, and that'll give me all the confirmation I need to see to know that this is going to continue on. 4, 3, 2, 1. There we go. Boom. Let's go. All right, we're going to head towards that the underside of the broadening wedge, ascending broadening wedge I talked about a little earlier. I'm going to go remove the indicators real quick, take another look at it. I want us to hit that mark. It's going to come back and retest 434. We'll see how it holds in a little bit. 434.34. I want it to hold right above this purple line. I don't want it to go too much lower. But this area here is the uptrend of the ascending broadening wedge. Generally is a bearish signal in that pattern, but that's the pattern we got right now. That's what we're playing. So, you know, we got to work with what we get until things change. But this is basically it right here. We're hitting the underside of it. We did fall out of it briefly, but we're trying to reclaim that area and get back into breaking this golden zone. Once we break this golden zone, which is roughly about the 436.19, that'll put us back in bullish territory to start to play the top side of this broadening wedge pattern, ascending broadening wedge pattern. That'll put us probably somewhere in the 450 range at some point in time in the future. Now, I don't know how long it'll take, but it's going to be the path if we do break that golden zone I mentioned earlier. So we'll see. Right now, we're just trying to re-enter this broadening wedge or ascending broadening wedge that we formed, and then it should be all set from there. I just need to hold SPY. Let's see what else we got out here moving. Let's take a look at some other stocks, see what's moving right now. Not a lot because the SPY is being bipolar, but it is what it is. I know Riot's moving. It's going to also be attached to crypto, as we know. Riot's moving right now, so I don't know about taking a position on it yet. It's already kind of going. Coin, well, again, in that crypto sector. Yeah, that SPY turned around real nice, Renee. That would have been a nice opportunity to jump in, but it's all good. I think we don't have a lot of time left on it. Again, I think we're going to go and hit that 435 mark, or just touching that 200 moving average again, like I mentioned before. I think when you were on a little earlier. And that'll probably be the move. We'll consolidate around there. But we got one day expiration dates. And you know, it will be good till Monday. But I'm not going to hold this. I don't expect anybody to hold these calls at all, because we don't know what's going to happen over the weekend. If you have to, I understand. But it's the safer play is to take the profits as we go on the way up, like we keep talking about. Way up trading is that we pocket the money on the way up. And that's how it works. You know what I mean? We keep our profits in our pockets. We stack and build. Even if it's $5, $10, $20, we stack and we build. We get ready for the next play. Every dollar we get is another soldier in the army. Putting our money back in our pockets for the next move. There we go. We start basically went in and crossed that level. We're now starting to get very close to the underside of that broadening wedge, the ascending broadening wedge I talked about a little while ago. And the 200 moving average is sitting right, or exponential moving average, EMA, is sitting right here at that same. So there's a lot of confluence in this area. I have a support level or a resistance level, as well as the underside of that wedge and a 200 moving average. So I don't expect this to blow right through. I just want us to hold above this 434 and 30 cent mark. in order for us to consolidate and make this next move or next push up. This range may be a little chasey. I'd probably wait for it to come back down, or at least hold this area. Watching some of the indicators here, if you were looking to jump into calls, but it would be a very short location to do it in. So it would be a little chasey at this point until we get confirmation. If we do break this 200 moving average and we hold it, I'd say let's go. But you want to be a little bit patient with this one right here, just because of the fact that we already made the bulk of the move. We broke the 200 moving average already on the 3-minute chart, and now it's getting ready to approach it on the 5-minute chart, which is where I'm more concerned with it at this point. That's a bigger location to break. 3 minutes is, things can change very quickly, but the 5-minute chart is taken a little bit more seriously in the trading world. All right, already up 32% on these calls. Gonna go and take some more profit here. So trimming at 32%. And update the group as well, making sure that the group can see what we're doing, making sure everybody gets the opportunity to make some money on this thing. If you guys see anything that I should check out, please post it in the chat as well. There it is, 434.46, still pushing. I wanted to go ahead and test here. My resistance level 434.56 is coming up. Volume is decreasing on this push, so we need to be very mindful that it may touch and then retrace and try to reaccumulate again around that 434.30 mark before trying to attempt to touch this 200 moving average on the 5-minute chart. It looks like, taking a look here at Mara real quick, it looks like the move might be over on Mara short term. Yeah, it went ahead and touched roughly about 13 bucks. It needs to reaccumulate a little bit. So Mara might be not a dead play, but it's going to take a little break here, which is common right around the lunch hour as well. So SPY pushing right next to about to go and try to attack the next level that I have here, 434.56. And here's the push down. It's already starting to create that push down. Pretty much a rejection off the moving average, 3-minute, actually the 2-minute smooth moving average. There it is. That's the rejection that we just bumped our heads right into. So it's off the 2-minute. It's most likely this is a small area to be concerned with. It's probably going to go ahead, come back down real quick to reaccumulate. There is some notable selling pressure happening here. There was a little bit of a decrease in momentum, so things are starting to come back down just a bit. But I don't think it's going to be long-lived. Once it crosses this area where the smooth moving average is on the 2-minute time frame, it'll push. But right now, it's just going to take a little energy to do so. I'm going to open up my order blocks to see where the selling volume is at. Nothing really showing itself here. But it's still pushing. There it is. It's about to break the smooth moving average right now. This is why I like to add the smooth moving average just to my chart. Very easy to see. Smooth moving average will usually give us an indication of where things are bullish. Once you break it, that usually will show you a push to the upside. And there it is. There's it pushing right now. Next target I have here, 434.56, should touch on the nose. We're waiting for it to go ahead and do that right now. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I think we just got it, right? Yeah, we got it. Went ahead and touched 434.56. Rejected pretty quickly right there. That should have pushed our let's see here. Should have pushed our calls a little bit, about 5%. Sure, Renee. What is your? I'll double check on it for you. What is your screen name on the join? Just gonna double check and make sure everything's going well on that for you. Is that you? Take profit? Is that you? All right, wow. SPY is actually really pushing here. It actually just broke our level. Okay, I see you here. Take profit. And I see you just made the name change. Alrighty. Give me 1 second here. I just sent you a message. Let's see if you can respond to me back here. Just want to make sure that all right. I'm looking into it right now. To see, I'm gonna see. I just sent you a message. See if you can respond to the message I sent to you, or add me as a friend. It says it won't allow me to add you as a friend, so I'm not able to reach out. But see if you can add me as a friend real quick, and reply to the message I just sent you. All right, SPY is about to actually break out again. Volume is coming up real big right now. I think we're gonna go ahead and touch 435. I don't think the move is over yet. And we're talking about we still are in the lunch hours, so this thing could continue to push. Buying volume is down again, just basically because we are in the lunch time frame. But the push is still going on. There it is. There's the break of 434.56. Next target I have here is going to be the 800 moving average, which is sitting somewhere exactly at, this is on the 2-minute time frame, it's sitting at 434.98. That should actually hit in just a little while. I don't expect this to not to stop. Volume is decreasing only because we are now in the lunch hour. The 5-minute 200 EMA has now been broken. Huge indication of continued upside. I don't see this stopping yet, so we should be in a nice position to mix the profit on this thing. Up 48% now on these calls, and this pushing. Here's volume picking up, kicking in right now. It's actually above the signal line and matching the previous volume. Right now calls are up 50%. I'm gonna go ahead and take some more profit here. Half my position is now off the table. Gonna update the group real quick. All right, congratulations if you got into this play, or Mara as well. Big plays we made this morning already. So right now we're 2 for 2, profitable day so far. Let's go. Even though the SPY dumped like a whole % in the morning, but that's how it works. Let the plays come to us. We don't go chase. There's always another play, always another opportunity. And and we take our profits while we're getting them. Take what take what the market's giving us, pocket the profits, stack and build, baby. That was a nice push. We see that long wick challenge pretty well by some selling pressure, because again, we're not going to break that 200 moving average on the 5-minute that easily, and that's some huge selling volume, pushing it all the way back down to reconsolidate, or to reaccumulate, I should say. All right, Mara coming back down right here. All right, so the Mara move is going to take a little break. I expect it to come all the way back down to about 12.25. Good catch earlier on, making that money on the way up there. All right, let's take a look here. SPY coming back down to reaccumulate. Getting ready for the next push. 9 EMA is possible for a takedown. This is, again, while we take our profits while the move is in play or in motion, just because of the fact that these kind of candles can occur. Now, a lot of selling volume that came in. It is on decreasing volume to push down, but it is necessary for it to regain strength in order to make that next attempt at breaking that 200 moving average, which would take us to the next level at that about the 435 mark, which would be our chance to break it. If you're not in on the play right now, this would also be a good time to consider getting in on the play as a starter position, because I do expect this thing to break the 200 moving average as volume starts to kick in, going into the higher volume portions of the day. The 9 EMA is still being held. We are above this particular line at 430. So the opportunity would still be here, in my opinion, to go ahead and enter in for the next push. It's, again, better to go ahead and enter in on the weakness for a call position than entering in on the strength of the call position. So we are starting to hammer back up, and this would be the time to, again, set your positions, get in your spot in order to ride this next push upwards. Volume is still steadily increasing. I got the volume portion here. You can still see this is starting to increase. Go ahead and line that up. Volume is still increasing positively, getting ready to go ahead and try to attempt a cross up. Once you get this cross up, this is going to push through, which will give us that momentum up to the upside to start hitting that 435 target. High possibility that we actually will be in the money by the end of the day, which would be huge for our contracts and start to put some money in our pockets. So congratulations if you caught this one too. This thing is looking really good. And hopefully we're able to catch that push because we are about to break. Once we break that 200 moving average, we should be on our way. Next stop is going to be the 435 mark, which would be our 200 moving average, or MA. We have the 435 strike for next week. Next week, Monday. So it's a one DTE opportunity. I mean, again, the prices are a little bit higher than when we started, but there is still some opportunity to make some money on the move upwards. So I would suggest either in the money strikes already, somewhere around the 434 to 435 mark, or at the money as well. So either one of those would be just fine, in my opinion. Not forcing anyone to buy or sell, but what I'm seeing on the chart is the opportunity is here to make the upside move and gain some income on this particular push. As long as it holds above the $4.34 and 30 cent mark, the move is still good. We haven't broken through, and I'm expecting us to break that 200 moving average on the next push upwards once volume starts to kick in on the remainder of the day. So I'd be looking to add to the position somewhere about the 9 EMA, which is, again, that 434 mark, 434 and 30 cent mark, and just add to that position as long as we hold above it. If we break below it, that would be my situation, or my reason to, at that point, get out of the play, or at least reduce my risk substantially. Because at that point, we would now be looking for potential downside, but we don't want to do that. We want to make sure we hold above this area right here, 434 and 30 cents. Awesome. All right, we're gonna get that money up. Don't worry. We're gonna get it back for you. Well, you're gonna get it back yourself. You're the one that's pulling the trigger on this thing. You're the one that making the decision to change things, take profits. I'm with it. Let's go. And here we go. Here's the push up. We should start getting some volume going into the end of lunch hour. Probably around 1 o'clock is usually when we start to see everyone coming back to their desk, start trading and stuff like that. If they can see that we're going to be in a situation where the trend is upward, they're going to start to pick up the upward move. And if we're above the 200 moving average, even better. And we should start actually pushing now as we get towards 12:45 Eastern time, and so on. So we're going to keep a look at that. Usually the biggest moves start to happen toward the end of the day, roughly about after the book rebalancing time frame that they use on Wall Street, which is roughly around 2:45. Things usually get stagnant between 2:30 and 2:45. They're rebalancing their books, getting things in order, just to see where their risk tolerance is at. And then from there, they start to rip the Band-Aid off. And then from there, they go from 2:45 to about 3 p.m., power hour. And in the last 10 minutes is always going to be the big push, where we start considering imbalances in the market and things like that. But that's where it's at. So if you caught that bounce off of 434.30, we should be in a good location for some moves to be made. Let's see what else we got here moving around on the other stocks and stuff like that. Let's see what else is out here. I'm not really worried anymore about SPY because I know where it's going. I'm pretty sure, and I'm hoping. I'm glad that you guys were able to catch the move. Put some money in your pockets here on this thing. Congratulations for catching this one. Here's the push, 60, 343.60. Right, Netflix is pretty expensive. I'm looking at Netflix, but I don't really know if I want to drop that on a Friday. Let's see what else we got. Looking for some high quality stuff out here on different charts. Here's the push. Once we break that 200 moving average, we should start getting a nice influx of volume. And we're just about to break it in a couple of seconds here. Any minute now. Get prepared to start trimming some contracts on this thing right now at about 48% profit. It's fluctuating, but we're still in the right side of the flow. Come on, you know you want to push. I wanted to push, regain this bottom side of this broadening wedge, and start to consolidate up here in this region. It's going to be a tough area to break, but once we get above it, oops, that looks terrible. Once we get above it here and start doing something like this before getting ready to go and attack this level right in this area here. So we'll use that. We'll use a dash line, this pink line right here, which is 435 flat. That will put us right in the money. Should be a nice win. And we didn't have to hold it all night. Some of my other positions right now looking pretty good. It was swinging. I'm going to go and update the group as well with swinging EEM, another stock which is now up an additional. Well, it's actually pretty flat. I actually was able to close out on that one about 60% earlier today. We had held that overnight. Take a look at some of the other runners, if they're even running. Even with the SPY actually starting to recover. Those were longer outdated, so they were in the 1 month out, a couple of weeks out as well. So SPY recovering should have done them justice. And volume's still pretty low right now until after lunchtime. I don't want this to be an area of rejection. Let's take a look and see if we got any patterns starting to formulate here. We are still holding on the 2 minute above the 200 smooth moving average, or the smooth moving average, excuse me. I'm going to get rid of these indicators. I'm going to go ahead and start to draw a little bit. Oh, that was a nice flush. Let's see here. Not going to count the wicks. Let's see what we got going on. Small bull pennant. Potential breakout right underneath this mark, 434 and 56 cents. We need to hold or break back above that. Well, the 434s would be okay, would be good as well. That just would at least guarantee that you'd have that intrinsic value. Right now, we are playing an extrinsic value type of move because we're going upwards. We're trying to go upwards towards the out of the money strike. They would have done you okay. They'd be a little more expensive because you're more of a quote unquote, I don't want to say guaranteed, but you're in a better position to win because you're already in the strike, and you'd be actually saving some of your premium. In that sense, but however, the upside is limited. You may not make as much on the upside as well because obviously the more risk, the higher the reward. But we try to play it in a way where we're not really as concerned with that because we're already trimming our positions and taking our gains on the way up to the upside. So we're just looking to play the market and take what the market's giving us, not predict what it's going to do next. So it's tough enough. But either way, with the 434s, those would have been just as good. In my opinion, we're still going upwards once we break that 200 moving average on the 5 minute in just a little bit. As long as we hold above that 434.56, it's game on. But either way, it should be okay. And the good thing again, we didn't do a 0 DTE or a same day contract, so our risk is still below what it could be, which is also a good thing. Here's the break right now of the bull pennant that we just formulated on the 2-minute chart. And we should be making our way towards breaking the 200 moving average on the 5-minute chart. And just a little bit. Let's take a look at some of the other indicators, because this is going to be a shootout location, I should say. Because we're right on it. We're right on that 200 moving average. Like, we're right on top of it. So once it breaks, I mean, that's that line right there. That red line is it. And it's, again, converging with the underside of that. Oh, there's a break. Here we go. We have officially broken the 200 moving average, or EMA, on the 5-minute chart, and we should start printing some numbers right now. Our high today is already at 434.83. We need to break that new day high, and then we should be, oh boy, here we go. The volume is still steadily increasing. Here's the volume starting to pick up. You see it's a little bit of a stair step up to the upside, but let's see, I'm pretty sure there are going to be a bunch of orders or sell orders in this area trying to protect it. Okay, just coming back down for a retest of the breakout. Pretty standard breakout of a range. It wants to come back, retest it to see if you're sure about what you just did, which is, again, is sitting right above that 434.56 region. We got the wick. Some buyers are stepping in here to push it back upwards, which also coincides with the 9 EMA on the 2-minute chart. And that's all we need to see is this hold. If this holds, I'm not really concerned anymore. But we're just going to continue to watch it, play what the chart is giving us, and that's all we can do. All right, here's the push. Come on. When is lunch going to be over? You guys need to get back to your desk. We got money to make. What are you doing? I'm just going to turn on regular trading hours for just a moment here. 434.89. Also a target to be concerned with. Gonna mark that off. Let's see. I'll mark this area off right here. We got there's a little bit of a marriage between what's happening with the with the EMA, the 200 EMA, as well as the 200 moving average, the regular SMA, and they are. That's Mara. Mara's actually rebounding real nice. Mara's actually rebounding. They sold it off into lunch, and now it's actually picking back up. Mara is an animal right now. All right, let's see what else we got out here. What else is cooking? Anything big? Oh, they're trying to flush it. Let's see. They are trying to push it down. How's the volume on that selling? Can I consider this a low volume push down? I don't like this. However, I just need to hold the 9 EMA at this point and hold that 434 30 cent mark. That's all we need to see. Now it is formulating a broadening top pattern right now, in my opinion. I'm going to go ahead and close this up. So we have a new pattern forming. Gonna go ahead and take a look here. But just needed to hold this level, but it is starting to break. Just hold that level, that's all I want to see. That'll be enough for me. Alright, so we have another setup. I'm going to go ahead and color these blue, just so that they're a little bit more visible. So there you go. We got a broadening top pattern. Where have we seen this before? It's all over the place. So this is basically what you get when they're trying to fake out longs and shorts at the same time before making their move. We got an A, B. This is a weak C. I don't know if I can consider this a C right now, because there is a little bit of a downtrend at this particular point, so I need to be mindful of that. It was a false breakout of this rising wedge, of this wedge. I don't know. I just wanted to hold here, but it'd be the perfect time for them to do this. Is right at lunch. We just needed to hold this 434 and 30 cent level. Let's check my volume again. Buying volume is outweighing the effort versus result. The sell volume is not doing justice as opposed to the buying volume. This is just another reaccumulation right now. Sell off and looking to pick back up, in my opinion. So as long as they don't break that 434 level and 30 cent level, this is still game. It just needs to reaccumulate enough shares in order for it to push above the moving average. It just needs to gain strength, and that's exactly what it's doing. Let's go. All right, 434.50. Let's take a look and see. Max momentum starting to make its way back up. Looking for a cross of the max momentum indicator to the upside. After this cross, that should give me more confirmation that this thing does want to push. Only thing we're missing right now is the lunchtime volume, which should start stepping in a few moments here. It's only almost 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time when Wall Street is finished eating their bagels and stuff like that. They're ready to start making a decision on what they want to do next with the market. And let's see. That's by making another attempt. The effort versus result here. This selling candle was, again, not as large as this buying volume here. Still underneath the signal line, obviously because of lunchtime. So they weren't really able to push it. I should start seeing a higher volume candle start coming in just a moment. MACD, this is the 3-minute chart here. MACD looks like, again, still on an uptrend. Tight location. It's a tight spot to be in, but there still is upside here. I don't think this is done yet. Yeah, they probably eating steak. Steak and wine and cheese and stuff like that. Yeah, I wouldn't put it past them, you know. Wouldn't put it past them at all. Having drinks and mimosas and come on, man. Let's see, live trading. Okay, we're in here. Yeah. They might just let it go, right? Boy. Must be nice. Let's see. Yeah. They can have it. Let them take their breaks. We're coming after them. We're coming after them. Don't worry. We're on their tails now. Talking about retail. We're on their tails now. All right, we got it's 1 o'clock on the dot. Like this tweezer bottom here. I call it. I guess we can call it the tweezer bottom. But here we go. Let's step it up. Step it up. And if you're in the stream also, if do me a favor and hit that like button on the stream. Helps get more information out to anybody else who might want to learn about some of this trading stuff. Helps out the channel tremendously as well. Really do appreciate you guys spending some time here with us. Chart, chill, and chat. Gonna do this more frequently as well. Man, we're still kind of coasting. Depends on what that means. I'm not really sure what that's about. But, I mean, hey. Whatever it is, as long as they're giving up some of that money, we'll take it. My man, I appreciate it. Here's the attempt now. Lunch hour is over. They're going to triple bottom this thing right at the 434 and 30 cent market. It has now officially broken, or not officially because we have not closed this candle yet. We need to see buyers step back in and push it back up above this level. 434.30. That's the area. That's the spot where the war is going down right now. They're trying to get it to push back down, but again, it's on lower selling volume again. So they're not having much success pushing it under the 9 EMA, and it is still bullish. So they're not able to do it. We're going to get another higher low, which is another indication that this thing does want to continue up, and there's just not much they can do about it. Cut them off. Yes, sir. Oh, got you. Doberman pinchers. Okay. Yeah, well. They might need it. Cut them short. They've been shorting us for the last 3 years. It's time for payback. Oh man, I saw that there was not even mention it. Well, talk about this conversation here. I just saw that there was a trailer for a movie talking about the GameStop saga and the retail investors and all that. I'm like, whoa, this is really making noise. I mean, I've seen several different documentary style movies, but this is a real legit movie. Like I think it was I forget who the actors that played in it were, but did see a few actors in there that look familiar. Gotta go back to it, but it looked pretty cool. Actually, let me double check it. Oh boy, here we go. They're gonna try it again. Hope we don't get rejected from this area here. They are pushing it again. Dumb Money, yeah, that's what it is. That's what it was. Who was playing it though? Oh boy, I saw it briefly while I was doing some research yesterday, and it came up, and I'm like, Seth Rogen, thank you. Yeah, Seth Rogen was in it, so that's a big deal. I mean, it made a splash, man. It made a splash. I would just love to catch that move. I still regret it that I missed out on that run on GME, man. That still haunts me to this day. Like, oh boy, I don't want that to ever happen again. So, oh, okay, they're really they're fighting it down now, but it's on again. Decreased effort. I don't know what to say about this one at this point in time. We'll see how this rebounds, but they're still not able to push it down on higher volume. So, in my opinion, this is still a false push. It's still going to push up. It's just trying to reaccumulate it. They're doing whatever they can to push it down. The volume is not matching the result that they're trying to get. We're still holding above that 434 and 30 cent mark. Yeah, Seth Rogen was on it, so that's pretty dope. I'm gonna see. I'm not trying to have another situation where we miss the GME run or any meme stock run, whether it's AMC or whatever the case. I'll stick with it for as long as possible. I mean, I'm gonna watch this thing. Oh, definitely, eyes wide open, more than wide. So I mean, hey, they pull the rug wool over our eyes way too many times already, man. I'm not trying to have that happen again. Yes, it'll be here, definitely. Let me see here. Let's double check and see if there's anything else coming up. Midline and the Bollinger Bands. Yeah, this thing is gonna go. I still think we need that E move to happen on this move. It's the wicks are just there. They're trying to push this. They want to push it down. The effort is not enough. They're doing whatever they can to push it. This is just a reaccumulation, in my opinion. There's going to be a higher high, which then breaks that 200 moving average, and it's going to go. This pattern still tells me. I mean, we've seen this pattern 100,000 times already. It's the fake out pattern of the market. All right. This is how they get you. They just shake everybody off, and create indecision. But as we get more and more advanced in our charting and making sure we catch a lot of these patterns, we start to see a lot of their tactics in advance. And we not catch all of them, but they're not going to catch us off guard like they did in the past. So that's really the idea. Okay. There we go. I see the ABCD move. It's a little bit of a broadening top with a base. But it's a 1, 2. It's a triple bottom off of this area. They're not able to push it down. It's not going to happen. It'll break through. So it's 1, 2. It's a triple bottom setup. 2-minute chart. Low volume push downs. I consider this now to be a new better. Look at this. Getting lines all over the damn place now. Let's see what else we got. Clean this up a little bit. There, these hammer wicks, these hammer candles on this thing. Yeah, that's, I would consider this a partial decline on the broadening top pattern, and it's gonna go. It's just that they're really trying to push this down. They don't want the SPY to become bullish again. That golden zone I mentioned is still on deck. 435.74, 436.19. This gets out of here. It's going back to 437, and the back above 437 it'll invalidate the 4-hour head and shoulders that we got forming here. Or I could probably even see it on a closer time frame, maybe in the 1 hour. So that we need to invalidate that in order for this bull setup to continue. Because they do want to bring it down. They didn't want it to be bullish. There's a lot of bears still in this thing, holding on to the last second. They don't want to admit it that we're now in bullish territory. Let me see here. Where's the? I kind of lost sight. Let me go and double check on. Boy, too many things moving. Let's see. All right, is it pushing? $12.87 on Mara. SPY still BSing right now. Let's take a look at BBIG and see if I wanted to. Ah, boy, it's picking back up. I missed it, bro. I missed it. Playing with the SPY, missed it. Ah, boy. Bro, I missed it. Hey, New Age, did you get some let me actually put you guys on. Hold on a second. I know there's a way to do this. Did you pick up some shares of BBIG at that 140? It's got a little bounce. It's picking up volume. I mean, perfect bounce off that pattern, man. I'm telling you. SPY is finally breaking out. I'm not even really worried about it. I know where it's going. Well, nothing's guaranteed in the stock market, but I have a great idea where it's going. Let's take a look at BBIG again, man. Oh, I mean, that's probably I'm still going to go and enter some, get some shares right here. This is it. I had it marked. I had it ready. It's going to bounce right off that 141, and it's exactly doing that. I already got my targets in place. I'm going to get some shares now. In case it comes back down, if it double bottoms or something. Let me grab some right now. Good call on BBIG, though. How's SPY doing? I'm not playing options. They play a lot of games with BBIG. I'm going to go enter some long shares. Hold on to those. Keep my stop loss tight. But they've been playing with that stock for a long time. All right, here goes SPY. SPY is breaking out here. Let me double check these contracts. They should be printing up nice now. All right, I'm going to trim a couple more contracts here. I'm at 50% profit on the SPY contracts, 435. Got that nice pop above the 200 moving average. I'm just going to go ahead and take some off the table. All right, there it is, continuing to push. Indicators back up. Bollinger Bands, we don't need those anymore. Just got some shares of BBIG. So I'm going to hold on to those while this thing pushes. It's a nice bounce. Up, there's a SPY. So I picked up some shares of BBIG. I'm finally green on green again. On my HYMC position, it's just kind of holding that for that 32-cent mark. So I see some upside on both of those right now. Right into my pattern. Yeah, I can see target 2 being reached as long as the volume starts to continue to increase, which it looks like it's a steady incline on volume. On BBIG, we should start to get a nice reversal here in just a little bit. Well, over some time. It's not going to happen in one day. All right, SPY got out. It broke the 200 moving average. Rejected here at 434, my line that I already had in place. Knew that was coming, so that a mile away. Now it's trying to retest. It went back and retested the 200, and also my level here that I mentioned earlier, which is the bottom end of the ascending broadening wedge on the 1 hour time frame. It's hammer candling back up. I would like to see a hammer candle close just like this on the 5-minute chart. We have about 3 minutes and 45 seconds still left on this chart. If it goes in and breaks this and holds above it, 434.89 will be our next level to be concerned with, which is more of a strong resistance at that point. But your call should be looking real nice right now. If you got in on this move, congratulations, you're looking good. There we go. There go our sellers. Sellers all hiding here on the 15-minute and 13-minute chart. Just hanging out here. This is gonna be a fight to break here. A lot of sellers in this area between 434.77 and 435. They want to keep this and hold this underneath this level. They don't want us to break it. They don't want us to be great. But we know what's up. We know what's up here. Just need to hold this level here. 434.62 is now my new support level. Holding that, break through this order block here.
As a kid, you knew you made it when you got invited to a birthday party at McDonald's. So, this June,
I just want to also double check. Am I at any point am I freezing? Is the stream quality good? Am I in position where things are running smoothly, or are you hearing me clearly? Just want to double check that with you guys in the chat here. Just give me some kind of feedback on that. Music too overpowering? Anything like that? My voice coming in clearly? All right, goes the next move on SPY. Eating through these orders right here. Turning bullish on the 15-minute chart. Holding above the 50 moving average on the 15-minute. Yeah, this is money. We're looking good. This is money right now. We're looking fantastic. Just need the 434.89 to break. I'm going to update the watch list. Sorry, the trade group real quick on the trims. I've kind of lost sight of that with the stream. Apologize, fellas, folks. 50%. Oh man, nah, I'm doing the what do you call it, the quiet storm voice thing going on over here. I got the quiet storm happening with the 98.7 Kiss FM thing going. Oh man, I try to go for the mellow hip hop thing. You know, that's my era. You know, mellow hip hop. You know, conscious rap and stuff like that from way back. So I can't hear too much of the uppity stuff too much, man. I'm getting a little too old for that right now. But you know, I give it respect. I give respect either way. I need something a little more upbeat. Yeah, I'll try a little something, a little more upbeat. Let me see if I can find something. I'll spy it down real quick before I do that. Don't want to lose sight of these contracts. $434.84 is pushing right now. I need it to break 434.89. That's my next level, my next target. We should get a nice boost once it crosses above there. That should give us a nice 1348 cross on the. It'll cross us up on the 10-minute chart. Or so, yeah. I think that should cross up on the 10-minute chart. Actually, we already got that cross in the 10-minute chart, so we're looking good. We're going to most likely be above and actually finish up somewhere around that 435 mark before the end of the day. You know. That's a good choice, man. Biggie and Tupac they were the ones though. So if you had to choose any, those are cool with me. I'll keep it the way it is, man. This is it. See, the thing with trading, we need to be focused. You know, we can't have you can't feel like we're in peril or nothing like that, or things are getting scary behind us. So gotta stay as relaxed as possible, like he said in what was it in Wolf of Wall Street. You know, you gotta stay relaxed. I'm not saying to do exactly what he said, but you gotta be relaxed in this thing because this thing will drive you crazy if your head is constantly on the swivel. You know, cortisol is all up. So we need to do whatever we can in order to kind of stay kind of mellow. So, you know, it's part of the equation for me. You know, having some mellow music in the background just to kind of bring some peace and quiet to, you know, a little bit of an erratic kind of world. So that's how it works. Yeah, BBIG got that perfect bounce, man. Perfect bounce. That's exactly what I wanted to see. Let me double check the longer time frames on BBIG. You know, there was a time that this was one of the conversations all over social media and stuff like that with you know, this stock, but I don't know, it really went quiet. I don't really hear much about it anymore. But it's in a very, very deep situation right now. It's really far in. I don't know what the fundamentals are in it right now. I don't really do a lot of fundamental analysis on a lot of these things. I play momentum and I play patterns. I don't play fractals. I play patterns. You know, it's a little bit different. Fractal analysis is a whole other topic. I don't really delve into it too much. I do respect them for what they do. Whoever's doing fractal analysis, it's really not my thing. price action is also another one that I pay attention to a lot as well. So, not to mention Wyckoff. Everybody should learn Wyckoff. It's very important. A very important tactic to add to your repertoire, just to understand how stocks move in general. Whether or not they're in accumulation phase, whether or not they're in a distribution phase, what phase of the market they're in, or of the pattern they're in. You can never take anything from Wyckoff. That he died a very rich man, and he left all the tools and all the knowledge behind in order for us to pick up. So it's part of the repertoire as well. And we should all have an idea, a working knowledge of how Wyckoff works. Elliott Wave is really just derived from Wyckoff. It's not something that, I don't think it stands alone, but there's a lot of opportunity to make money with it as well. But if I had to choose who to learn from, one guy died rich, one guy died poor, and it wasn't Wyckoff. So Wyckoff died very rich, Elliott died poor. So I'm going to choose the guy who died rich and left his manual behind versus the other guy. So anything else that happens as a result of it, I'll put it into play, but hey, it is what it is. Here is SPY crossing over that 384. It's touching the mark here, that level I marked off a little earlier, 384.89. It just went in and touched it. Our contract should now be printing pretty nicely. The only problem is that right now I'm seeing volume not really stepping in. It's actually falling on the 10-minute chart, but it is rising on the 5-minute. We'll see. We'll give it a little more time to see about breaking through. I don't want to double top at this level here. On the 5-minute, it looks like it may want to be rejected at 343.89. So we'll see. But take your profits. If you're up, take your profits. I'm going to take one more here off the table. Right now, up 55% on these contracts. Let's take one more off just in the short term. It's a fourth trim. Up 55%. It's only a few contracts left. We're getting into a very tight location on the chart, in my opinion. All right, okay, HYMC starting to move. Okay, I'll take it. HYMC position opened up just a couple days ago, now up 2% on a nice number of shares. Just picked up about 10,000 shares on it just in order to get a little swing going. I do think that HYMC could see somewhere around the 40-cent mark in a little while. Takes a while for these things to play out, but if AMC starts to make its move, I think HYMC will get a little bit of a sympathy behind it. Obviously, they work really close together, so that's how that works. Let's see, how's the chip sector looking? EVs, man, they really bombshelled Lucid, man. Like, goodness gracious, Lucid can't catch a break. That's another one. It's shocking how far down they've come. I had Lucid shares in the 50s and 60s. For it to be down at $5 is unbelievable. I need to look at this a little closer because now we're actually under where it even IPO'd. IPO'd at $10 and we're sitting at 984 I see, and we're like well into us. I would consider this to be a spring range, but it's not giving me anything that says that it's ready to continue to go up or reverse. It got rejected off that $7 mark. Had that beautiful day. I actually messed up on that day. Missed that one. I was actually playing a different play and found out about that one later. But man, they really bombshelled Lucid. Let's go back to the SPY, double check and see what things are at. But I have actually reduced my risk on this thing substantially. So again, we like to take our profits as we're moving upward. If you're out of contracts, you're just out of contracts. That's at least you leave with profit in your hands. But we're going to be in a very iffy spot right here. So I'm going to recommend being careful with this position that we're in right now. The general trend right now, until we confirm above 436 or 437, is still in the bearish position, because we're still within a, I would call it a head and shoulders pattern until we get back above that level. But okay, SPY wants to continue. Let's go. We got to go into the money. So congratulations once again, going into the money. Okay, it just broke my mark of 434.89. Here we go. We should be going now. We should be good in the clear. What time is it? It's 1:30 in the afternoon. Obviously, they were not able to push it down. You saw how much how much of an attempt they made to push it underneath that mark of 434.30. They were unable to, and we are now sitting in a position where we are in a, do want to pay close attention, because we are in a rising wedge on the shorter time frames. This, again, without looking at indicators, just going to look at just the overall trend of the day. I'm going to confirm this with volume, but I just want to look at the setup right now. So we're at a very, very key area at the moment, because this is forming a wedge. I want to confirm this on volume. Just a little bit here. Let's see. So we got the double bottom. The volume, the candle spreads are getting a lot tighter here. It's either going to break up or it's going to break down, but the volume is what's going to tell us the truth on this thing. Good book, I always recommend. You're probably hearing it all over the place, but I've been on that book now for quite some time. It was Volume Price Analysis by Anna Cooling. Tells you that volume is everything. See, the price is on the increase. Volume is actually, even though it was on the 5 minutes showing up stair stepping, it is now considered to be on a downtrend. So this is a rise. This is a confirmed rising wedge, which can usually break to the downside once it falls out of this spot. So we're in a key location here. Either we're going to break through this area that I've marked off, this pink bar, which is roughly about 435.04, or we're going to go ahead and break this rising wedge and start to make our way back downward. Probably finding a level of support somewhere around the 200 moving average in just a little bit. So again, I recommend taking profits in this area, because we don't know how things are going to wind up. All we know is how much we keep in our pockets. That's it. And it looks like it's actually starting to break through and fail the wedge, which is common. A rising wedge generally will go up, break, and then come back and retest the last level of support. There are a lot of times SPYs in the past actually juked a lot of people out and broken through, but right now the volume is not telling me that. The volume is telling me that this thing is going to come back down until something else outside of the blue shows up, and right now we don't have that just yet. So be very, very careful with that. SPY could go, let's see, you call the 140. SPY could fill in the gap from yesterday. I'm not better, gap is better. Yeah, it's the truth. It's been holding. It has been holding at this 434. But the only problem is that I don't know how long it's going to hold it for. Technically speaking, we would be in a bear reversal or a bear pattern, or maybe even a bear flag. Technically speaking, from the larger time frame, I hope it actually picks up. But this could just be a retest of the underside and fall through, unless we get above and out of this golden range. Actually, let me look at this from a different perspective. Let's take a look at this thing from a Wyckoff perspective. Okay. Got our trading range here between 443 and, let's see. Let's go to the 1 hour time frame. 443. Last point of supply. 442. Drop down. Let's see. Any high volume reversals. Automatic reaction. Maybe here or here. Sell climax. Automatic rally. Sell test. Pop back up. Could this be considered a spring? Well, below the trading range. Oh, this is the bottom. This is the automatic rally. So I'll consider this a sell test. Automatic rally. Spring. High volume. Hammer candles all throughout. So we were in a spring area. We were just basically in a spring area. We're probably going to come up, hopefully get a higher high, roughly about the 437 mark. If it does fill that gap to the upside, I would like it to at least fill that gap. That'll be huge to show us some bullish continuation. If it can go ahead and fill that gap, that will put us in a nice spot. I'm going to remove this extended hours real quick. Let's see. Fill the gap. Hold us around 435 and change. Above 436, we start to hold. All right, SPY's going to push. It's actually going to reclaim that. And we start to hold. Hopefully it can catch the last point of support here at about 435.04. Hold that area, maybe consolidate a little bit, and then push one more time. Roughly 436, but those calls should be good. How's AMC doing? I haven't paid attention to AMC all day. Let's see, AMC's at 407. If there's ever a chart that I have more lines and time looking at, it's definitely AMC. Gap down. Still got some room to come down here. I'll be playing the absolute bottom of the wedge, the bottom of the falling wedge, of the macro falling wedge. At the same time, we have, boy, all right. I mean, we've broken into this before, but this is gonna be a triple bottom. Triple bottom setup, which is roughly around 370, 353 lowest. I don't think this is gonna hold. We still haven't got any volume coming in on AMC yet. It's not gonna hold. It's most likely going down to 353, and then it's gonna rocket back up off of news, because this is manipulated to the nines, man. Doesn't make any sense. Anyway, back to SPY, where we're making money. All right, SPY is at 343.90, just kind of toying around with it. Nothing else really moving in the market right now. It's a weak SPY move, but we're making some money on this thing, so it's all good. All right, here we go. We're going to test now. We have broken through the resistances that I had in place. We are about to test the 435.04 mark we talked about a few minutes ago. Looking fantastic. And I think we might have actually broken out the top of the rising wedge. So that's awesome. So we are bullish, man. We are bullish right now on the short term. We are broken out of that rising wedge. This has now become a full on cup and handle. Almost looks like a layup, right? So I just need to break out of here. Let's go ahead and turn the volume back on, see if there's anything jumping on the volume. Volume is increasing slightly. We got the smooth moving average here sitting waiting for us to take the wind out of everybody's sails. But I want to know, is Renee still in the chat? Renee, if you're still in the chat, just want to double check on you, see how you're doing with this, with your call position. Yeah, they rejected it right there. All right, let's see here. I'm just... Yeah, look like they're looking to try to hammer it back down now. Let's see if volume actually supports the move. They are pushing it. 5-minute chart. Be right back in a second here. All right. All right, we're back over here taking a look at this thing. Spider looks like he's ready to make another push here. Don't think it's over. Looks like it's reaccumulating for another push up. Low volume push down. Just needs to go ahead and break over 434.89 once again, but it looks like it's having a little trouble. So it may not be an over move, but for the most part, we should have taken our profits, and hopefully we did. We should be good. Congratulations, Renee, on that big win. Like I said, the outcome is income. I remember working for $8 an hour. It wasn't that long ago, you know what I mean? So, well, maybe it was, depending on who's listening, or how old everybody is, but it didn't seem that long ago. $8 an hour. You can make $20 in 15 minutes. That's huge, right? So, listen, that adds up. Stack and build, right? Every win, another soldier in the army. Put every single dollar to work. You got 20 more soldiers at your disposal. Let me see about this music though. Now it's starting to go from hip hop to, like, I don't know, something else now. I'm gonna go and check this out. It's like coffee shop music. And the thing about YouTube, it doesn't let me really play. Can't play any copyrighted music, so you got to go with that kind of, quiet, that type of stuff, the laid back music or elevator style music. So Spider is ready to make his next push. Just gonna give it another shot here. I see his volume starting to step upwards. Let's take a look at some other indicators real quick. Let's stick around for a little bit longer. I'm gonna have some other engagements to attend to before the end of the day. So gonna be maybe about another 15 minutes here. We're having to take off. So I may be closing my position shortly. Yeah, BBIG is down a little bit. Yeah, It did come back down a little bit. I don't expect it to play out all in one day. I'm not buying calls on it. Just gonna buy some shares. Let that ride out, Renee. I'm seeing your messages now, but definitely again, congratulations on the win. But yeah, definitely as far as BBIG is concerned and Mara, let me pull Mara back up to see how that's looking. I didn't expect Mara to continue to rock it like that. It can continue, but yeah, his SPY coming back down a little bit. We'll see. Let's see. Yeah, Mara recovered really nicely. Still 10% day on Mara. Nice move. So yeah, one thing that we have to remember is, this happens a lot when you drop a position or let go of it, and you look back and it's like $10 more than what you left off. We have to remember that the point is to make money. There's always going to be more opportunities. You make money, you don't want to lose money, right? There's always other opportunities out there. There's always another chance to get in, make a bigger amount. But the thing is, you left profitable, and the remorse part of it, you kind of can leave that where it is. Hey, there's always another opportunity to get back in, because at some point things will drop down, or we'll catch the next momentum play. We'll jump on the next ship. However, we take what's given to us that day, have more firepower to take on the next challenge when it shows up. Because hey, we stacked our account, we're stacking and building. That's really all it is. The more we have at our disposal, and the more we continue to practice our craft and hone our skills, trimming on contracts, keeping profits and taking profits. Hey, from there, we just grow that triangle. We grow that triumph triangle I always talk about. The thing is, you have to keep the discipline and take profits at intervals, and pretty much that's it. The more we have at our disposal, the easier this game actually gets. The more money you have, the easier it gets. It sounds crazy, but if you stay true to those principles and continue to grow and keep that discipline in place, it gets easier once you get into bigger and bigger amounts, more contracts, and so on. And you have $1,000 and you have 100 contracts. If you're still taking your 10%ers, your 20%ers, and 30%ers, those intervals, instead of making $20, you'll be making 200 per trim, 300 per trim. All we did was change the number. The percentages are bigger because we're using bigger amounts, and that's what really matters. Is just understand. We have to play this the same way we would play if we had $1 million portfolio. Even if you're playing with $100, you play like you're playing with $1 million portfolio. When people are putting up $1 million bets, they're not looking for 100 percenters. They're looking for 2, 3, 4, 5%, right? Because on $1 million, 2, 3, 4, 5% is huge. So to them, they're not looking to make 100%. When you're playing with a small portfolio, we need 100%. We feel like we need 100% because we want to actually see some real money. But that's the mentality we have to have. We have to have a longer game mentality, and being able to stay at bat, get to bat as many times as possible, because that's what changes everything. Staying at bat. If we blow up our accounts, we can't play anymore. So the point is to be more defensive and have more opportunities to play and play the right way. And over time, 3%, 4%, 5% days every day, 10% days every day. There's 200 some odd trading days in a year. You do 10% a year off $100. You can easily do that on a calculator. Do 10%, take $100 and do 10% times 225 days, and you'll see you'll have 100 grand very easily if you're compounding at 10% per day. It doesn't take that long to turn $100 into 100,000 if you follow the rules and continue to stick to the steps and stay disciplined on the way. And that's where a lot of people make the mistake. Definitely. That's the idea. We get better every day. We learn from each other, and then we pass the information on. And hopefully, whoever's listening and is around us can pick up on that vibe as well. We sharpen each other's skill. Iron sharpens iron. We, we build. We don't destroy. All right, that's the concept. But you can only do that with the right thinking in mind. So congratulations once again on that. And Spy is playing out that a rising wedge we pointed out earlier to a T. Played the upside and downside of that rising wedge. Is now broken out. Was unable to break this mark that we had in advance already at 435 and 4 cents. Failed it. That was the top of the day. And here we go, falling out of the rising wedge. Finding a resistance here. Went down, retested it for resistance. This would have been the put play of the day right here. If you were to go and switch from calls to puts, this would have been the opportunity. There was a breakdown, a retest, and a drop. You can see the volume increase on that drop and is now finding last point of supply all the way back down. It's probably going to go and hit 430, 430 once again for another try at it, as it was trying several times to break it, but as now looks like it may have the momentum to do so this time. So we'll see. There was a big volume spike here on that drop earlier on. Once it retested, everyone jumped in and had the sell button ready. That's on the 3-minute chart. Let's take a look at the 5. We now have a 921 cross to the downside on the 5-minute chart. And it is now, on the 3-minute chart, 921 cross to the downside. And it may possibly lose. We'll see how it reacts on the 200 moving average, or EMA, on the 3-minute. If it loses that, 430, 430 is going to be coming up next, and so on. So this is again why we talked about taking our profits up here. If you rode this all the way up here, you'd be fine. You wouldn't be worrying about being red or down or whatever, or having the DCA, because your money would have been in your pocket. So I have now officially closed out my last runners. I only had a couple of contracts left, being that I actually closed out the majority up there at that rising wedge. And I'm now taking the final ones and closing my position here. Closing my positions actually a few minutes ago on those 435 contracts, with the last ones now being up 31%. So that's pretty much it. That's two plays knocked out of the park already, on a very, very choppy day on the market. So congrats. Definitely. That's it. If we follow those rules, there's no way you can lose. But you have to stick to a strategy, keep your edge, and stick to a strategy for risk management. That's really all that matters. Once you get that down, understand that it's not about making money, it's about keeping what you're making. Because you can make money and lose it in the same day and lose it very quickly, but you have to retain. As you retain, you have more to attack with. So being more a defensive trader, that's really all it's about. And then from there, take your profits as you're making them, move on. Every day is another opportunity. Every day that you can play is another opportunity. So we don't want to blow no more accounts. That's the last time we're doing that. All right, so congratulations once again. I'm happy to have you part of the group. We're going to be doing this consistently, trying to making sure we get the live streams in on a daily basis back when the markets open this coming week. Like I always say, we're making the outcome income for 2023. Absolutely. Glad I was able to do this too, and happy to meet you today as well. Definitely see some positivity going up, and some things improving, and things getting better. I think this is just a start, Renee. Definitely a pleasure to meet you, and I hope to do some more things like this and make some money going forward in the near future. All right, so I'm gonna get ready to get up out of here. Appreciate you guys taking some time and going over this thing with us today. Any new members that have joined today, welcome to the group. Going to be updating some new things in that group shortly. Was everything able to work out with you on the server, on the group? Did everything go okay? Because I didn't get an additional message back. Just want to make sure you're able to get in. I did do a wave back to you a little while ago. Just make sure, let me know if everything was going okay, if I should double check it for you, Renee. Okay, I'm going to double check that. I'm going to go and pull the file for you before I head out in a little while. But I will definitely double check it, and I will, because I do have you listed here. It just says that hold on a second. I do have you listed here. Yeah, these are live charts. These are live charts. I mean, there may be a slight delay on YouTube or on the stream, but these are pretty much live charts, live updates, and yeah, you should be getting them the way I'm getting them. And SPY's starting to really sell off now, so good stuff if you took your profits, folks. Good moves. Alrighty, so I'll go and check that out for you, Renee. And again, please appreciate you guys spending time here going over this thing. And I'm gonna catch you on the next stream. All right, take it easy, everyone. Peace.